Good evening to you. Claims that the Ukrainian President, Volodymyr Zelensky, purchased luxury villas using Western aid money. I presume that's military aid money. Truth or fake?
That's right, Mark. President Zelensky recently ended his European tour aimed to replenish Ukraine's arms deliveries as the country gears up for a counter-offensive against Russia. In the sidelines of this visit, accounts on social media have been sharing this video showing 3 luxury properties allegedly owned by President Zelensky and purchased with Western aid money following the war in Ukraine. One example of these claims, originally in French, this user that says, "What does Zelensky spend our money on?" Zelensky owns luxury real estate. So we're going to take a look at the residences and question the properties one by one. We have the images right here. The first residence allegedly in Crimea that according to the claims cost President Zelensky about $25 million. Second, there's this villa in Forte dei Marmi, Italy, at a cost of about 20 million euros. And the third claim is this villa in England that the Ukrainian president allegedly bought at a cost of 27 million pounds, all allegedly financed by the money that Zelensky received from his Western allies, according to the claims. Mark?
So, do these villas, mansions, big houses actually belong to Volodymyr Zelensky? That's the question.
Let's begin with the first property, the alleged castle in Livadia, Crimea, allegedly worth $25 million. We found this article in Reuters from May 2019, where we learned that President Zelensky's wife, Elena Zelensky, bought this penthouse in this apartment complex in Crimea in 2013, so before Russia's annexation of Crimea in March 2014. And this property right here is no secret. It appears in Zelensky's tax return from March 2021 that also specifies that the property is a 130 square meter apartment that, according to Ukrainian media, actually cost about $160,000, not $25 million. An apartment that may soon no longer belong to the presidential couple after the leader of Crimea declared that this apartment was going to be given to people in need in efforts to nationalize, as they say, objects that bring income to the enemy.
So, one fake exposed. Let's move on to that villa in Italy. Price tag 20 million euros. Truth or fake? Tell us.
Indeed, Mark, we found information on this property in Italy, in Forte dei Marmi, that allegedly cost Zelensky 20 million euros, according to the claims. In particular, we found this article from March 2019, published by Ukrainian investigative media called Slitstvo Info, where they reveal that this 15-room villa does indeed belong to the Ukrainian president. That, according to the president's tax returns from 2019, Zelensky purchased this villa in 2015, a villa of 413 square meters. So long before, a villa purchased long before the current Russian invasion of Ukraine. But contrary to the claims, this villa was not worth 20 million. It was an exaggerated price. This villa cost the president about 3.8 million euros, according to Ukrainian investigative media.
So Zelensky bought that a lot earlier than it was alleged. It's not worth what, or the value is nothing like what was quoted. And clearly, one has to remember he was a very successful showbiz entertainer before he became president. So perhaps he had the cash in his back pocket. Let's go on to the final one. The big house, the mansion in England.
Finally, yes, Mark, this mansion in England that, according to the claims, cost President Zelensky 27 million pounds. We found the images of this mansion in a Russian media that claims that British media published that Zelensky gave his wife this mansion in Hartfield that is located in the north of London at a value of 14 million euros. However, we found no other publication that could back up these claims in this Russian news article. What we actually found was the active listing of this mansion called More Manor in real estate companies like Sotheby's and Savills at a price listing of about $12 million. And then regarding the second claim that President Zelensky embezzled $400 million in aid, this allegation can be found in several Russian media. Here's one, for example, claiming that Zelensky embezzled $400 million from Washington in order to buy these mansions. However,
to buy 2 multi-million-dollar yachts. That's right. totaling $75 million. And he did this apparently just a few days ago, according to documents. You might want to hide your purchases when you're Zelensky, though, because you have to have friends sign your paperwork for you so you can actually hide it, right? Do it through either a money laundering or a proxy. That's how you buy things if you're Zelensky. Remember when there was all that furor about a year ago when his wife was begging for money from world governments and then was also caught having gone to Paris and buying all those expensive jewelry and bags and everything. So so America sends you a lot of money, and then your wife goes shopping in Paris. See how that works? Well, now Zelensky has bought 2 yachts, according to journalist Shazed Nasir. 2 of Zelensky's closest friends. Now keep this picture up on your screen. 2 of Zelensky's closest friends purchased 2 yachts, and they're moored in Abu Dhabi and Antibes. Just a few days apart, they purchased these. 2 friends who are brothers, Sergei Shafir and Boris Shafir. Now, let's see if you can guess which one is named Boris.
Okay.
I'm going with the guy on the right. I'm just saying.
There's an archetype for the name Boris.
I think so, and I think he's living up to it, Boris.
You're looking at it.
You're looking at Boris. You're looking at fat and happy Boris. So here are the documents. According to the documents that this journalist has uncovered, the 2 yachts are named Lucky Me and My Legacy. The one you're looking at here on your screen is Lucky Me, and the other one is My Legacy. See in the upper left-hand corner of your screen there, and you can see the purchaser, and you can see the name right there in the second box, and you can see the purchase date and the purchase price. $25 million for that one, and the other one is there it is, $49 million. Maybe you round up with some taxes and so forth. $75 million total. So is this where Zelensky will spend his days in exile after he's thrown out of government? You can take a look and see what the My Legacy yacht looks like on for sale, and you can see the beautiful photos, and they do a full video and fly over with drones, so you can really get a sense of it, you know?
Oh, I look forward to watching our government seize it when he's called a Ukrainian oligarch.
Right, exactly. That'll never happen.
Well, I was going to say, he can take it to sail to Italy and stay in his villa, right? His $50,000 a month villa.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was another purchase, of course, that was uncovered by some eagle-eyed journalists. Americans, of course, are paying for this luxury, though, your tax dollars, so Zelensky can live in luxury. Now you might say, wait a second, hold on a second. Perhaps his close Boris friends there just wanted some yachts, and it has nothing to do with Zelensky at all. But not so fast, because there's where they say where there's smoke, there's fire, and they've done this in the past. And according to the Pandora Papers, we've covered this extensively here on the show. The Pandora Papers revealed Zelensky used these proxy buyers before for other proxy purchases using offshore accounts in the Virgin Islands and Belize. The Organized Crime and Corruption Project found that, I love the name of that, by the way, the Organized Crime and Corruption Project found that Zelensky's current chief aide, he's like right-hand man, Sergei Shafir, was part of that offshore network. He makes purchases on Zelensky's behalf. Offshore companies were used by Shafir and other business partners to buy pricey London real estate and pricey African real estate and pricey Italian real estate, and now some pricey yachts. As Politico magazine points out in a new profile spread just released today, and I can't believe Politico released this, Zelensky played the role perfectly, as they say, as they honored him with their Most Powerful Men Award. So you know how like Time magazine has their Person of the Year? Well, here's Politico with their Most Powerful, and he's labeled Most Powerful because, quote, Ukraine's president brought the war to the West, convincing people that his battle against Russia is also theirs, and giving him the authority to make Europe do what he wants. Can you believe Politico wrote that?
Another word for that would be thug.
Yeah. Instead of most powerful person, thug of the year.
Well, that's
the corruption purge started by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has claimed its most high-profile victim till date. The sacking of Defense Minister Oleksiy Reznikov comes ahead of an anticipated spring offensive by Russian forces. Reznikov has been replaced with Kyrylo Budanov, the head of military intelligence. These are the first signs of disarray in Ukraine's wartime leadership. Since last month, more than a dozen Ukrainian officials have been fired or resigned over alleged misappropriation of Western funds. The prominent ones are Oleksiy Simonenko, Deputy Prosecutor General, Vyacheslav Shapovalov, Deputy Defense Minister, Kirilo Tymoshenko, Deputy Chief of Staff in President Volodymyr Zelensky's office, Vasyl Lozinky, Deputy Minister of Development of Communities, Territories and Infrastructure, Ivan Lukeria, Deputy Minister for Development of Communities and Territories, Vyacheslav Negoda, Deputy Minister for Development of Communities and Territories, Vitaly Musichenko, Deputy Minister for Social Policy, the regional governors of Dnipropetrovsk, Zaporizhia, Kyiv, Sumy and Kherson. The rot in the Ukrainian government makes one wonder about the fate of billions of dollars of international aid that has flown into Ukraine since last year. The U.S. alone has committed defense aid of $29.3 billion since last February. The European Union has till now committed almost $10 billion to support the Ukrainian economy. It plans to double the allotment to nearly $20 billion this year. But a big question mark remains over accountability. Is the Western aid being used to fill the pockets of Ukrainian officials? Is corruption in Ukraine posing a setback to its resistance against Russian invasion? And will the corruption purge ahead of a Russian offensive benefit Russia?